We'll now call the business session 24 to order at 6:06 p.m. All council members are present except for Councilmember Alicia Rodriguez. We'll start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me. Now, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll now go to minutes. Our first item of business is to consider the minutes of the November 19th, 2024 regular session City Council meeting. These minutes were provided in your meeting packet. Are there any corrections? There are no corrections, so the minutes stand as approved as submitted. The next item is the proclamations. We have one proclamation tonight, and we are going to meet you down at the podium. Coach Gill and Councilmember Borderoux is going to read the proclamation, and I'm going to come on down.
We're excited to recognize Coach tonight. There was a great article in the Waco Tribune-Herald recently about his 700 victory milestone, and well, there's a lot of great career left in this man, and we hope to be cheering him and the Highlanders on for many years to come. We thought this might be an appropriate moment to recognize all Coach has done for MCC and for our community, for La Vega, and the impact that he's had on our lives. So I'm going to read a proclamation in Mayor Holmes' name. I, Jim Holmes, by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor of the city of Waco, Texas, do hereby proclaim December 3rd, 2024 as Coach Kevin Gill Day in the city of Waco, and urge the citizens of Waco to join the city council, city staff, and me as we celebrate and commend Coach Kevin Gill. Coach Gill has exemplified excellence in coaching, leadership, and dedication to the sport of basketball, achieving a historic milestone of 700 career wins. Since 2002, Coach Gill has been the head coach of the McLennan Community College men's basketball team, guiding the Highlanders to remarkable achievements, including 9 North Texas Junior College Athletic Conference championships and 21 appearances in the Region 5 tournament, with 7 semifinal appearances. Throughout his career, Coach Gill has demonstrated an unwavering commitment to developing student athletes, fostering teamwork, and cultivating a championship caliber program, positively impacting countless players, assistant coaches, and fans. His exceptional coaching career also includes 167 victories at the high school level during his tenure at La Vega High School and Hubbard High School, with the remaining 533 wins achieved as the leader of the Highlanders, culminating in an extraordinary head coaching record of 700-187. The city of Waco takes great pride in recognizing individuals who inspire excellence and embody the spirit of our community through their hard work, dedication, and contributions to youth development and sportsmanship. And I'm also proud to say that my own son, R.C. Borderoux, is going to be playing in the Kevin Gill Invitational this weekend at La Vega High School. And so we're so grateful for all you've done, and we're joined by your cousin, Michelle Hicks, here, our city secretary. So just grateful for you, Coach. Let's give it up for our coach here. If you'd like to say anything, and then we'll get a photo.
There's not a whole lot to say. You said it all. But I'd like to thank you guys for recognizing me, and I really appreciate it. And there's one person that's been with me through all these 700 plus wins, and that's my wife right there. She's there.
The next item on the agenda tonight is the consent agenda. We pulled 3 resolutions. Resolution 2024-966, Resolution 964, and 970. Those 3 will be voted on separately. And we will, we've got speakers on a couple of these. We'll start with, Dr. Northcutt, we'll start with yours. This is Resolution 2024-964. Dr. Northcutt.
Okay, thank you. Alan Northcutt, and you do have a handout. This resolution involves the purchase of an internal combustion engine rural van, a small transit van. Now, City Council has expressed its commitment to lowering greenhouse gas emissions in the cities as much as possible, but the packet rules out an electric van in this case because of, quote, due to the distance traveled within McLennan County, utilization of battery electric vehicles along with the lack of charging infrastructure makes zero-emission vehicles not practical for this type of service delivery. Now, the problem is the distance traveled is not stated, so we don't know what kind of range is required. First of all, you can see in your handout, these small transit vans, electric versions, are in use in Texas. There's 66 in use now. And also, you've got an example of one, the Lightning transit van, which is similar to the type of transit vans I see around the county. It has a range of 200 miles, and I suspect that that would probably be enough for the use in this case, but we don't know because the range isn't stated. Also, there's the issue of charging. Now, as you see here, this van can use level 2 AC charging, and the city has those for charging its current electric car fleet. And if another one is needed, those are pretty cheap to install. In addition, there are level 3 chargers on I-35 if an additional charge over 200 miles was needed during the day. So purchase of an electric vehicle such as this would lower greenhouse gas emissions, and it would improve air quality in the city. And as you know, our air quality in the warm months most of the time is moderate and is not actually good. And another important point, a study from Harvard last year in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Science found that when electric buses, this is school buses, replace old diesel vehicles in large cities, health benefits associated with reduced mortality and childhood asthma total $207,000. In addition, they add that with the climate benefits, and they come up with the fact that actually those would counteract or exceed the vehicle replacement cost. So there's a health benefit to electric school buses and electric vans such as this. So I would call on the city to delay this and look at this issue seriously. What is the range needed? That'd be pretty easy to determine from the odometer, and look at the options that are out there in electric small transit vans.
Thank you, Dr. Northcutt.
Thank you.
Are there any other comments on this resolution? There being none, is there a motion on Resolution 2024-964?
I'll move for approval.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Secretary Hicks, please poll the council.
Bearfield? Yes. Ewing?
He stepped out.
He stepped out.
Borderood?
Yes.
Chase?
Yes.
Holmes?
Aye. That motion passes. We will now move on to Resolution 2024-970. And I think we have a special motion language on that.
Mayor, I've got some special language right here. I move that the City of Waco, by a record vote, authorize the acquisition, including the use of the power of eminent domain, if such becomes necessary, to acquire a 0.019 acre perpetual water pipeline easement against all owners and/or lien or interest holders of Lot 3, Block 1 of the Schroeder Industrial Edition, formerly Lots 1 and 2 of said Block 1, also known as 5506 Franklin Avenue, Waco, McLennan County, Texas, described in deeds to Doak N. Vale Incorporated, McLennan County Clerk's File, numbers 9830745 and 9917196, which is merged with Patriot Furniture Incorporated, and to Edwin H. Vale Jr. individually, and finally to Xterra Construction Incorporated, said acquisition being for the purpose of placing, constructing, reconstructing, operating, repairing, inspecting, maintaining, rebuilding, replacing, relocating, and removing water pipelines and related appurtenances, and facilities needed improvement of the municipal water collection system, including the system improvement in the city of Waco for the completion of the second phase of the American Plaza to Exchange Parkway Water Line project.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Secretary Hicks, please pull the council.
Yes.
Borderood,
Yes.
Chase,
Yes.
Holmes.
Aye, that motion passes. The last separate resolution to be voted on is Resolution 2024-966, on which there was an affidavit of substantial interest. Do I hear a motion?
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Secretary Hicks, please poll the council.
Bearfield,
Yes.
Ewing,
Yes.
Chase,
Yes.
Holmes.
Aye, that motion passes. We now move to the consent agenda. The consent agenda consists of resolutions 2024-954 through 2024-970, except for resolutions 2024-966, 964, and 970. Is there a motion on the consent agenda?
Approval on the consent agenda.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Secretary Hicks, please poll the council.
Bearfield,
Yes.
Ewing,
Yes.
Borderood,
Yes.
Chase,
Yes.
Holmes.
Aye, that motion passes. The next item on the agenda is ordinance 2024-971. City Attorney Perdon.
An ordinance of the City of Waco, Texas, adding the honorary name of the Pet Circle Road to a portion of Circle Road in the City of Waco, McLennan County, Texas, from the Circle Road intersection with LaSalle Avenue at the Circle to the intersection with the northbound Jack Colchin Expressway, authorizing changing the city plan to include the honorary name, authorizing changing the City of Waco maps, providing for additional street signs, providing a severability clause, and finding and determining that the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance was approved by 6-0 council vote on first reading on November 19, 2024.
Is there a motion?
Move for approval on second reading.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Secretary Hicks, please poll the council.
Bearfield,
Yes.
Ewing,
Yes.
Borderood,
Yes.
Chase,
Yes.
Holmes.
Aye, that motion passes. Next item to consider is ordinance 2024-972. City Attorney Perdon.
Ordinance of the City of Waco, Texas, amending the concept plan of the planned unit development known as the Callan Village Planned Unit Development, PUD, to 1, reconfigure and reduce the amount of multifamily land use area in the PUD from approximately 8.62 acres to 5.92 acres, multifamily property to be relocated between the commercial and single-family property. 2, reconfigure and increase the amount of commercial land use area in the PUD from approximately 4.68 acres to 6.48 acres, commercial property to be relocated adjacent to Ritchie Road. And 3, revise the PUD concept plan narrative to account for changes in the commercial and multifamily use areas and provide clarity on permitted commercial uses on land between Ritchie Road and the residential portion of the Callan Village PUD, being property located at the northwest side of the intersection of Ritchie Road and Callan Boulevard, and described as approximately a 151.173 acre tract, more or less, located in the L. Marble Survey, Abstract 580 in the City of Waco, McLennan County, Texas, approving the amended concept plan for the PUD, providing for penalties and providing a savings clause, providing a severability clause, and finding and determining that the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance was approved by 6-0 council vote on first reading on November 19, 2024.
Is there a motion?
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Secretary Hicks, please poll the council.
Bearfield,
Yes.
Ewing,
Yes.
Borderood,
Yes.
Chase,
Yes.
Holmes.
Aye, that motion passes. The next item to consider is ordinance 2024-973. City Attorney Perdon.
An ordinance of the City of Waco, Texas, providing that the Code of Ordinances be amended by revising Section 28-247 in Chapter 28 zoning of the code, providing that the zoning map shall be changed so that certain properties described as lots A5, 4, and 3, Block 6, and lots 3, 4, 5, 6A, 10A, and 12, Block 3 of the Witt Addition, known as 605, 606, 608, 609, 611, and 620 Hatton Street, and 607, 609, and 617 Lottie Street, shall be changed from C3 district classification and become and be designated into R2 district classification, providing for penalties, providing a savings clause, providing a severability clause, and finding and determining that the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance was approved by 6-0 council vote on first reading on November 19, 2024.
Is there a motion?
Move for approval on second reading.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? City Secretary Hicks, would you please poll the council?
Bearfield? Ewing? Borderoot?
Yes.
Chase?
Yes.
Holmes?
Aye, that motion passes. The next item to consider is ordinance 2024-974, City Attorney Perdon.
Of the City of Waco, Texas, providing that the Code of Ordinances be amended by revising Section 28-247 in Chapter 28 zoning of the code, providing that the zoning map shall be changed so that certain properties described as Lot 2, Block 23 of the Chamberlain and Taylor Addition, known as 1304 North 6th Street, and Lot 2, Block 5 of the Dewey Addition, Part 8, known as 1300 North 6th Street, shall be changed from C2 and C3 district classification and become and be designated into R2 district classification, providing for penalties, providing a savings clause, providing a severability clause, and finding and determining that the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance was approved by 6-0 council vote on first reading on November 19, 2024.
Is there a motion?
Move for approval.
Have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Secretary Hicks, please poll the council.
Bearfield? Ewing?
Yes.
Borderoot?
Yes.
Chase?
Yes.
Holmes?
Aye, that motion passes. The next item to consider is the hearing of visitors. During the hearing of visitors section of the agenda, we provide an opportunity for the public to present concerns, to address issues that are not matters for consideration listed on the agenda. The council is unable to conduct a discussion, but will listen. We'll ask staff to look into concerns and provide follow-up. Please provide registration information so that staff can contact you if necessary. If you have handouts, please let us know at the beginning of your presentation, and staff will distribute those to council. If you're unable to approach the podium due to physical limitations, a microphone is available to be brought to you. We do have 3 cards tonight. When called to the podium, please state your name and address for the record. Each speaker must limit comments to 3 minutes. If you're speaking on behalf of a group of 10 or more individuals present, please have those persons stand at the beginning of your comments. And you'll be given 10 minutes to address the council. Please note that if you stand in support of a person getting 10 minutes to speak, you are forfeiting your right to speak on that item. For any person addressing the council through the use of a translator, the speaking time will be doubled to accommodate the translation services. While public discourse is very important to the council, we have to maintain order in the meetings so that all persons may be heard and city business may be conducted. If so directed by me, the Sergeant at Arms shall remove from the council meeting any person who, while addressing the city council or while attending the city council meeting, makes personal, impertinent, or slanderous remarks, becomes boisterous, or makes unauthorized remarks from the audience, claps hands, stomps feet, whistles, yells, or makes similar demonstrations. So again, we have 3 cards tonight, and I'll call them each up individually. Our first one is Michaela Jedlicka. You have, when you get to the podium, please state your name and address, and you'll have 3 minutes.
Michaela Jedlicka, District 3. Mayor Holmes and member of the council. For the last 3 months, I and other residents of Waco have attended these meetings to voice our concern over the ongoing U.S.-Israeli genocide in Gaza, and to ask that the council use the power we have granted them to speak up against the atrocities facilitated by our federal government. And for the last 3 months, you have all ignored our pleas. From the time that we first approached you all in October to today, Israel has continued its war crimes against Palestine, Lebanon, and Syria, killing thousands and thousands of more people by bombs, shooting, and starvation, and the destruction of health care. Since October, more and more journalists, healthcare workers, United Nations workers, and other professionals has come out to provide evidence of these war crimes, making it clearer than ever that the U.S.-Israeli narrative of self-defense is a complete lie. A lie so clear, in fact, that the International Criminal Court issued an arrest warrant for the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, and former Israeli Defense Minister, Yoav Gallant, on November 21st. Some of you have stated before that this is not an issue concerning Waco. This statement is woefully inaccurate and meant to downplay your responsibility as our local representatives. Waco has an investment in these atrocities facilitated by our government, be it through the estimated $1.8 million in yearly federal taxes our residents pay to support Israel's military and economy, or through the $140 million state taxpayer dollars Texas has spent on Israeli war bonds, or even through the companies in Waco who use the lives and bodies of Waco residents as fuel for their record profits. Companies like L3Harris, Caterpillar, Mars, and Amazon that then invest in Israeli businesses, technology, settlements, or military. We do not want our taxes used for the killing of civilians and the illegal seizure of land. What more evidence does the council need before taking the right action and passing a resolution calling on our state and national representatives to act? How many more bombs will it take for you to speak up? So far it's 85,000 tons, more than the amount used in World War II. How many more hospitals, schools, religious buildings need to be destroyed before you speak up? Almost all of them have been destroyed in Gaza. How many more people need to die from targeted starvation before you speak up? 1.8 million Palestinians in Gaza are experiencing extreme hunger, and the entire Gaza Strip is at risk of famine. I'm here today to make it clear that to the council that your silence on this matter is complicity in genocide. By ignoring us speakers and the 280 residents that signed a petition in support of a resolution, you are shirking your responsibility and alienating your voters. And for that, you should be ashamed. Thank you. I yield my time.
Thank you, Ms. Jedlicka. Our next speaker tonight at the hearing of visitors is Mr. Alex Price. Mr. Price? So, Miss Price, okay. Miss Alex Price. You say your name and address, Alex, and then you have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Alexandra Price,
I've got Alex.
District 6. I want to take this opportunity to thank you, members of the council, for the work that you do every other week in this meetings and even every day. You actually give me hope that people in our city will come to realize that the government isn't just the people far away for who we vote every 4 years. It's comprised of our neighbors. Our work is not done when we leave the polls. It's done every day in thousands of decisions that affect our lives and livelihoods. When the Waco residents for ceasefire were seeking a council member to sponsor this resolution and get it on the official docket, we were told you're more focused on local matters. Of course, the way our tax dollars are spent, obviously, affects every single person in Waco and all over this country. We know this is a false dichotomy since several federal grants were voted on this very meeting today. But when I think about how half of our neighbors are excited and hoping a regime change in Washington will bring them some relief, and the other half are feeling hopeless and resigned to a halt in progress, I remember that you are still here. It's not even January, no inauguration has happened yet. Biden is a lame duck issuing his pardons. But you are still here, doing the work for the people of Waco. And since we are the people of Waco, we hope you will find your humanity and tell the people in Washington that the people in Waco are united against our tax dollars funding genocide, regardless of who sits in the White House or on Capitol Hill. This city can be on the right side of history. We implore you to find your hope and follow hundreds of cities who have already spoken up and taken a stand. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Price. Appreciate it. Our last registered speaker here tonight is Michelle Kushamuram. When you approach the podium, please state your name and address. You have 3 minutes.
Hi, my name is Dr. Michelle Kushamuram. I'm from District 3. I'm here again to ask City Council to pass that resolution demanding for a permanent ceasefire. Last time I spoke to you, I read to you an excerpt from a letter written by 9/9 American healthcare workers. Sorry, hold on a second. Sinai healthcare workers who volunteered in the Gaza Strip. Workers observed that the likely death toll from this conflict is greater than 118,000, that everyone is either sick, injured, or both, and they have collected photographic evidence of life-threatening malnutrition, especially among children. That was back in October. Since I've last spoken to you, the situation the Palestinians have faced have become worse. Per UNICEF's reporting in November, 25% of children under the age of 5 in northern Gaza face acute malnutrition. 1 in 3 children under the age of 2 face acute malnutrition, with 10% of infants and toddlers suffering from severe wasting. Combating these horrific conditions are many aid workers, such as Mahmoud al-Mahdoun, who ran the Gaza Soup Kitchen and used whatever meager rations were allowed into the territory to feed 3,000 people a day. I'm here to report that this past Saturday, Mahmoud was targeted and assassinated by a drone. And when his family members tried to retrieve the body, they too were targeted by sniper fire. Our federal tax dollars are used to fund this famine and the murder of anyone that tries to alleviate it. Our tax dollars are used to starve 2 million people on the other side of the world. Meanwhile, nearly 25% of children in McLennan County are food insecure. As leaders of Waco, you have the responsibility to look after the children living here and demand that federal funds should be used to address the malnutrition faced here instead of being used to harm children abroad. Passing this ceasefire resolution will show your commitment to the well-being of the people of Waco and to humanity at large. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kishimoto. Is there anyone else present who'd like to speak during the hearing of visitors tonight? Seeing no one, will close the hearing of visitors. We're now going to go to council comments on items of community interest. Are there any announcements the council would like to make?
Mayor, I just briefly will want to give a shout out to the publishers of the Wacoan Magazine for this great cover celebrating the 175th anniversary of our beloved city, with our mayor standing tall, standing proud in the center on top of the Alico building, the highest point in downtown Waco. Beautiful photo, great interview with our mayor and other community leaders there. I know many of our friends are depicted and are interviewed in this, so would encourage our citizens to check it out. Appreciate our mayor putting a good foot forward for municipal government. And big shout out to Michelle Hicks and her staff for how wonderful it looks in here. He who has not Christmas in his heart will never find it under a tree. And you can tell that we've got it in our heart.
Well spoken. Our council bard right there. Appreciate it. Don't open the centerfold in that thing, please. That's not good. I just want to make sure that we have the, and Jonathan, you're out there. I don't think you can speak, but when is the celebration of Waco Wonderland this weekend? It starts at 7 on Friday, and then you just holler it out.
Yeah, we open at 5, but we will have a tree lighting and fireworks show at 7 o'clock, a parade on Saturday morning, and then Snow Hill, Ferris wheel throughout the weekend on Sunday, live reindeer on Sunday. So Fun Crawl, the Cocoa Crawl is also coming back this year with, I believe, about 25 different merges where you can go and get cocoa on Friday night from local vendors.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a great weekend. I didn't know there was a live reindeer and the Snow Hill and the Ferris wheel and fireworks, everything, cocoa, all of it. Okay, any other announcements, guys? The last item is council reports and requests for scheduling future agenda items. Are there any council comments or requests for future agenda items? The only comment is, where's Darius? He's not with us. He's not. Okay. All right. He had to go. Okay. I think that's it, guys. There being no further business, this meeting is adjourned at 6:36.